My name's Nigel and I'd like to welcome you to this, our County St George's Day event for 2020. Things are a little different this year. Normally you'd be meeting as your district, some of you would have parades, some activity days, you'd be sharing awards with leaders and celebrating young people's success. But for obvious reasons we can't do that. There are lots of things that are different for our lives at the moment. I don't normally have flags in my garden at home. It's just something we put up for tonight. Something I'd like you to do during the course of this broadcast is look out for how many different colour neckerchiefs that you'll see being worn. We'll give you the answer at the end. See how close you can get. Over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to think a bit about why St George has been chosen to represent Scouting and some of the qualities that he had. And we're going to share thoughts with some of our members from around the county. Then, as is traditional, we'll hold our promises and renew them. So we'll have beavers, cubs, scouts and explorers from every district to lead us in that. We're going to use the traditional version, but if you normally would use one of the variants, then that's absolutely fine with us. Just say whichever version you're comfortable with. So I'm now going to pass the baton over to another speaker. But before that, we're going to have some films that you've sent in to us about what Scouting means to you. It's a bit of a strange baton. Looks more like a toilet roll to me, but I guess that's very valuable at the moment.
The thing I like about Scouts is that you can be with different people and different friends, and the opportunities you get are infinite.
I love going on camps with my friends and doing all the fun activities, including singing around the campfire.
We all got into Scouting in 2012 when Charlie joined First Kyneton as a beaver. Since then we've really enjoyed all the activities, whether organising them or taking part. They say a picture paints 1,000 words, so here's a picture of Ted when he was a beaver, really enjoying himself. So thank you Scouting!
When you think of St George, what do you imagine? A warrior? A knight? A hero? Baden-Powell told us when St George was faced by a difficulty or danger, however great it appeared, even in the shape of a dragon, he did not avoid it or fear it. He went at it with all the power he could. He also said that is exactly the way a scout should face a difficulty or danger, no matter how great or terrifying it may appear. So as scouts, what makes us like St George? What are our superpowers? Like the quarters created when we tie a friendship knot, we came up with 4 superpowers. The first 2 are powers that hold us all together in uncertain times: resilience and courage. We asked some of our friends from across the county to help us understand these.
We are the Warwickshire Capulets from the 24th World Scout Jamboree, and we're going to be talking about resilience. Resilience is what gives people the physical and psychological strength to cope with stress and hardship. Even as a 16-year-old, I have found resilience an incredibly useful quality to have. Being resilient allows me to recover quickly from any difficulties I face, such as my GCSE exams being cancelled this year. It allows me to move forward with a positive attitude, always looking for the solution of what to do next. Resilience is especially important in times of crisis and hardship, such as the global pandemic occurring today. Dealing with sudden change, loss, or other difficulties is, unfortunately, an inevitable aspect of life. How we deal with these problems can play a significant role in the outcome of the situation. Being resilient will allow you to tackle any issues you come across calmly and effectively. It is the ability to stay strong in times of loss and worry, and even offer support to others who might be affected more severely than yourself. In the face of these events that seem utterly unimaginable, resilience allows people to find the strength not just to survive, but to prosper in these unforeseen circumstances. Building resilience can be done by seeking support, focusing on the controllable aspects of life, and reframing your mindset. I believe this is a useful thing to try to do whilst in lockdown. Resilient people tend to look at negative situations realistically. in a way that doesn't center blame or focus on what cannot be changed. In today's world, I believe this is a pleasant mindset to try to achieve.
Resilience is important because the ability to overcome challenges and failure quickly is necessary for all aspects of life. When things don't go to plan, you need to be able to adapt and change to find a solution. The more resilient you are, the less likely you are to give up, and this gives you a better chance of success. Scouting is full of opportunities for developing resilience, from your first sleepover as a beaver to going to the biggest World Scout Jamboree as an explorer, or from tying a simple knot to creating the most complicated pioneering structure, from your first hike to your local landmark to your Duke of Edinburgh Award expedition. Every activity we do in Scouting challenges us to push ourselves a little bit more and develop as an individual. It helps us to learn to work in a team, to communicate with a wide range of people. It gives us the chance to try new activities and develop our independence. Having the opportunity to go to the World Scout Jamboree in North America tested my resilience to the maximum, and I learned so much about myself through the experience. It was the longest time and the furthest away from home I'd ever been, constantly meeting new people, travelling, the heat of the sun and the sleep deprivation, and just having to deal with the unexpected things that happened every day. It was tough, but we all survived and came home safely, ready for our next adventures.
I've developed these qualities through Scouting in a variety of ways. Personally, I've always had struggles with different knots and how to tie them. I've always tried to carry on and not let it get to me, and eventually work out how to do them efficiently and well enough to be used. I've needed resilience many times during my life, both in and out of Scouting, from breaking my arm performing in the Warwickshire Gang Show to having off days at school. However, I've always tried to power through and do what was needed and find some sort of compromise which allowed me to carry on efficiently and complete what needed to be done, whether that was to dance on a stage or complete some sort of work in a school environment.
Hello, my name is Tommy. I'm from First Borkington Cubs, also in the Neaton Gang Show.
Hi, and I'm Izzy. I'm from First Borkington Explorers, and I'm also in the Neaton Gang Show. Today we have been chosen to talk about courage, as due to the current situation we cannot have a St George's Day parade.
Courage means to me to be brave and fight your fears, like St George and the Dragon. St George fought his fears by fighting a dragon, and that was an act of bravery.
In the current situation, everyone has to have courage to be able to get through it, as this is an unknown disease that no one really knows about. The NHS workers have to have a lot of courage to be facing this to help us, because they are risking their health just to look after us in the hospitals.
I used courage by joining Cubs. I knew no one at Cubs except people from Beavers and from school. I knew everyone at Beavers. I knew the leaders and the children. I needed help from some leaders and some children to get used to Cubs. Also, I went on a huge zip line. I wanted to go on it again and again and again because I fought my fear of heights. Joining Gang Show, I learned a lot more things than I usually would. Talking to a lot more people, especially learning a lot more dances.
In Gang Show, everyone has to have a bit of courage, even if they don't know they need it. For example, solo. Some people can just go up and audition for a solo like it's no big deal, but others have to build up the courage to be able to go sing in front of the producers, as they're not as brave as some of the other people. The same with dance teams. Some people can go up to an audition with the dance team and copy the dance with the choreographer, but some people aren't as brave, so they have to build up the courage to be able to do that. Scouting offers a lot of opportunities for people to build up courage.
Thank you and have a happy St George's Day.
Hello Warwickshire Beavers, I'm Willow and I help beavers around the county. My favourite thing about Scouting is camping and making s'mores with beavers. It's now time to renew our promise, as we all did when we joined Beavers, and here are some of my friends to help us.
We are Isabel and Jack from the Rugby district. We were asked to say the Beaver Law, but there is no Beaver Law. We are Lawlocks, even though we do share the same motto as all other Scouts. Be prepared!
I promise to do my best to be kind and helpful and to love God.
Hello Warwickshire Cubs, my name's Linda and I have the privilege of supporting Cub leaders around the county. I've always enjoyed new challenges which Scouting offers. Scouting gives us opportunities from Beavers and Cubs enjoying a weekend camp for the first time to leaders supporting local and international events. I'm now joined by Millie and James from Leamington and Daniel from Atherstone to remind us of the Cub Law and renew our promise that we made when we joined Scouting.
I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to God and to the Queen, to help other people and to keep the Cub Scout law.
A Cub Scout always does their best, thinks of others before themselves and does a good turn every day.
So we said there were 4 superpowers represented by the quarters on a friendship knot. Baden-Powell also told us that Scouts should go at it boldly and confidently, using every power that they can to try and overcome it. And probability is that they will succeed. So, to go along with the resilience and courage, we have 2 more superpowers to find out about. Which powers make all of us stronger? Friendship and success. Here are some more friends to tell us about these.
Hi, I'm Beth and I was a Montague participant on the 24th World Scout Jamboree. A World Scout Jamboree is a big scout camp where young people come from all across the world. In 2019, we met in West Virginia for 12 days of fun and adventure. To me, friendship is based off a mutual understanding, often coming from shared experience, and some of the main values on the Jamboree were bringing the world's youth together to promote peace, mutual understanding, and to gain leadership skills and life skills in a warm and embracing environment. So it was a great place to make friends. We were camped next to Finnish, Spanish, and American Scouts. Together, we made jokes, talked, played games, shared snacks, talked about weird things from our countries, and came together to create a potluck dinner one evening. A potluck dinner means that we all cooked food from our own countries and then shared it and ate from everybody else's countries. It was great fun and we made many friends. We are still in contact with today. Some participants from our unit even met up with them and plan to do so again in the future.
Hi, I'm Hannah and I've been doing WAGS for 12 years, but I'm also a member of 2nd Warwick Sea Scouts. So before I start, I guess I should explain what WAGS is. It's a gang show that we do in Warwickshire where we perform singing, dancing and acting to audiences for 6 nights. So success to me means achieving your goals and knowing where you want to go and being proud of yourself and other people being proud of you as well. Success is important because it can make you happy and it gives you more confidence and more hope. I've developed success through scouting in WAGS, for example. I've achieved going on stage. I'd never be able to do that. It could also be the smaller goals on the way. So in rehearsals, I would say it's more important because say you really want to go for a solo and you having the confidence to do that and trying out, I would say is more successful than actually getting the solo in the end. It's also success when you've been trying out a new dance move for ages and you eventually get it, that's way more important than performing the show successfully. So I guess I've needed success when rehearsing for the show, making sure I get everything right and remember everything. And I also needed success this year when I was doing my last show after 12 years. So I wanted to be successful so that I can make my family and my friends proud that were watching, as well as making all the producers and the backstage crew proud because of all the hard work they put in as well. So that's why success is important to me, because it makes me happy and it makes other people happy.
Hello Warwickshire Scouts, I'm Stephen and I help Scouts around the county. My favourite thing about Scouting is the range of different activities, experiences and opportunities that are all available. It is now time for the Scouts, Explorers, Network and all our amazing volunteers to remind ourselves of our laws and renew the promise we made when we joined Scouting. Here are some of my friends to help us.
A Scout is to be trusted.
A Scout is loyal.
A Scout is friendly and considerate. A Scout belongs to the worldwide family of Scouts.
A Scout has courage in all difficulties.
A Scout makes good use of time and is careful of possessions and property.
A Scout has self-respect and respect for others.
On my honour!
I promise that I will do my best.
To do my duty to God and to the Queen.
To help other people.
And to keep the Scout law.
So the toilet rolls come back to me. Thank goodness for that. I'd now like to introduce you to our next speaker. Tim Cox is the Lord Lieutenant of Warwickshire. That means that he's the Queen's representative in the county. He's also our county president, and he'd like to say a few words to you. So over to you, Tim.
Good evening to everyone, and thank you very much for that introduction. As Lord Lieutenant of Warwickshire, I'm delighted to say a few words tonight as part of your St George's Day broadcast. First of all, can I hope and pray that you are all staying safe and well in these difficult times. Speaking to Nigel Halley, I was really pleased to note that numbers in Scouting in Warwickshire have increased yet again this year. If you include Cubs, Explorers, Beavers and Scouts, we're over 5,500 people, which is fantastic. If we include all the adults, that increases to a total of 7,500, which is wonderful. So thank you in these difficult times. I'm really pleased that Scouting in Warwickshire is doing so well. Obviously, we are in very challenging times. Schools are closed, shops are closed, and people are working from home, and that causes issues. And I know that we are all here trying to support the NHS in these difficult times and the essential services. I know that as a scouting group, you are all helping, whilst having good fun as well. You are there helping others. I would ask you to remember the words of Lord Baden-Powell when he said you must help others. And I know Warwickshire Scouting are doing their bit. I note that some people have been delivering Easter eggs to care homes, and there are some fantastic initiatives being done by the Scouting group in Warwickshire to support others in these difficult times. So thank you very much indeed for doing that. And finally, to the leaders of Warwickshire Scouting, who are also helping out in these very difficult times, looking after you at home as well with homeschooling, and whilst still enjoying all the work that the Scouting group does. So thank you very much indeed for allowing me to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Well, that's about it for this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. We've been thinking about 4 things using our friendship knot to show those. So we thought about resilience, courage, friendship and success. The friendship knots are used by people throughout the whole world, and we also remember that this is a world pandemic. It's not just an issue that's affecting us in the UK. And I've tied this friendship knot using some scars from some of my friends in Gibraltar and in Papua New Guinea, so that I can remember them at this time. A big thank you to everybody who sent in a clip for tonight, and for those people who helped you in the background with the technology. But I'd particularly like to thank Paul, who's pulled all of this together, cut all the clips together, and made it possible for you to see it this evening. But I'm not just thanking those who contributed tonight. I'd like to thank all of you. As Scouts, it's not been the same not meeting face to face, but we never let things like that get in the way. And I know many of you have had meetings using technology. You've been set challenges and been doing badge work. I've even seen investitures happening online, and that's brilliant. You've been camping out in your gardens. I've seen virtual campfires and people building dens to sleep inside. What adventures you've all been having. But of course we help other people, whether that's be through fundraising, through the campaign to walk to the moon, whether it's been sending greetings to people who live near you to make sure that they're not forgotten, or cards to old people's homes, or things as simple as putting some stones outside that you painted to cheer the place up. These are all things which as Scouts we do to help other people. Finally, it's become a tradition on a Thursday evening to go outside and recognise all of the work that the National Health Service are doing for us and other medical professionals. I'd like you this evening to think also about everybody who's working to maintain our life, whether it's people who make sure we still have electricity, we still have communications that work, we can still watch television, or whatever it may be. So maybe think of them as well as applauding the excellent work that the National Health Service do. Why not go outside in your uniform this evening? You never know, you may find somebody else in your road who's also a Scout and you didn't know that. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. This will be available to share to other people, should you wish to, after the end of the broadcast. Please make it available to your friends and family who may want to look at it. Most of all, keep safe, and I look forward to seeing you all in the future, face to face. Good evening.
I love being in Beavers because we get to have fun, we make lots of friends and we go camping.
My favourite things about Scouting are making fires, building campfires and singing campfire songs.
Wags Gang Show. This is a week of shows performed at the Spa Centre open for guides, scouts, beavers, cubs and explorers.
One of my favourite moments from Scouting was a parachute drop we did.
The best thing about Scouting is the sense of unity and adventure.
Scouting is fantastic. I represented Warwickshire at the World Scout Jamboree in Japan as an international service team member and had a great time.
My favourite thing about Scouting is the people. It doesn't matter what you're doing or where in the world you're doing it. If you get people together who believe in what they're doing and want to be there, I think it's amazing.
My favourite moment in Scouting was whilst I was on the World Scout Jamboree in America. And we went whitewater rafting with 5 Montagues and 3 Niger Scouts. They weren't used to the water and so could only have the courage to jump in and float downstream when holding hands with the 5 Montagues from Warwickshire.
Hello from Canada, I'm Scouter Rob. My favourite things about Scouting are working with my fellow Scouters to support amazing youth. I also love how, despite our differences or distances, Scouting gives us common ground on which we can build meaningful and lasting friendships.
My favourite thing about being a part of Scouting is being able to turn huge empty spaces like this into a hive of activity. And I guarantee, whether you're a young person or an adult volunteer, that you'll leave an event with memories that will last you a lifetime.
I believe that Scouting provides me with the best opportunities to help young people in my community gain important skills for life.
The best thing about Scouting is camping.
My favourite thing about Scouting is eating marshmallows around the campfire.
Best thing about Cubs is making friends.
The best bit about Scouting has got to be the amazing friends I've made along the way.
Being an SBL has given me leadership skills I can take with me into my future, and I've made friends for life.
Is making friends, going on camp and earning loads of fun badges.
One of my favourite things about Scouting is the way that it brings together so many young people from the same community. It gives them all the opportunities to do activities, to go places, that gives them a shared experience.
Scouting inspires me to do things that I never thought I could. Scouting supports me, especially when I wobble doing things out of my comfort zone. Scouting is my second family, inspirational, supportive and most of all fun.
What I love about Beavers
is the craft and making friends.
My favourite thing about Scouting is that it's a youth-led programme, so we can decide what skills we want to learn and what fun activities we want to do.
The thing I like most about Scouting is being able to do loads of fun fundraising activities, like the China Smash and hot dog stall. I also enjoy being able to spend time away from my brother. Oh wait, he just moved up.
My favourite thing about Scouting is being able to go on all these fun camps. I missed it this year, so I'm so excited to be doing it in my back garden.